Hello, truckers, drivers, and adventurers. I am the Killer Trucker in training, and it is another day. It's day number 3 of week 2, which is a Wednesday. This may not be coming out on a Wednesday. It might be a few days behind. I'm already a few days behind on getting some episodes out. I wasn't able to get anything done yesterday because, well, one, the previous night I had trouble being able to get decent sleep, and then 2, yesterday was so flippin' hot that I was just so wiped out by the time I got home. It's not going to get any better today. I think it's supposed to go up to 108 degrees or 109 degrees today. I don't know. But I think I slept probably about 9-10 hours. It's just like I was on a truck, right? Just a little 10-hour sleep time before you go out driving again. But I feel a lot more refreshed than what I did yesterday, so I think we'll be able to get some videos done today. Got a whole bunch of paperwork though from Swift that I've got to take care of also. I mean, like, lots of paperwork, so I got to go through them and either acknowledge or sign, download for copies, whatnot. So I'll have to do that on my tablet. So what is going on today? Well, my guess is today we're going to be doing the offset backing just over and over and over again, and I explained that in the previous episode where you've got your truck and you think of it like parking lanes, right? Or you could call them loading docks, or you could say that you're coming in this way but you got to park here. Whatever the case may be, you're here, the parking spot you want is here. So you have to pull up like this, and then you have to kind of back up. It's just like this 5-point thing where you're kind of going like this, and then like this, and then finally, you know, coming in like that, and then going back the other direction. So that is probably all that we're going to be doing today. Man, my thing is like falling apart here. Might do something else, but I will let you folks know once I get back. Something else that I'm working, or that I've got is, I'll show that to you too, but I have this little massage thing for the chair that I've got sitting down there, and it's massaging my back. Because, yeah, standing up all day, sitting in the truck isn't the thing that's bothering me. It's standing up and walking all over the place in the heat. Really takes a toll on you. But yeah, this back massager is actually kind of helping out. Yeah, I guess that's it for right now. I will chat with you after I get back. And this time I'll actually take a shower before doing a recording. I kind of wanted just to give you an idea of just how hot it looked when I got back. I won't do that again on this episode. Well, hello everyone. I am back from the next day of training. I was going to say day 3, but this is day 3, week 2, but the second day of the second week of training, because the first day was
Labor Day. Well, okay, anyways, I'm back and I'm not as wiped out as I was yesterday. Now, I went ahead and I took a shower and I came back and anything. Be thankful because my pungency probably will translate all the way through the phone that I'm recording on, and it'll get saved in the data waves. And okay, anyway, all that aside, not too bad. It was hot out there, but at least we had a breeze this time for most of the time that was there. Oh, and I got to tell you, this Arizona sun is, it can be very unforgiving. I have been drinking a lot of water. I mean, a lot of water. I mean, I don't know, maybe 10 bottles a day. It's crazy. And where does that water go? Through my skin, and it evaporates. I mean, it's just weird that I'm drinking that much water, but that much of it is actually being used to cool me off. It's just weird. So what did we do today? Well, we did just as I thought we were going to do. We did the offset parking. So the first thing is we coupled a tractor to a trailer, got everything hooked up, and then we did our pre-trip. And it's one person is going through it, the rest are following along with the little cheat sheet that we have. So here it is here, okay? I got it like all folded up because I put it in the back of my pocket, and I like study it here and there. But yeah, we just kind of go through it and just got to make sure that we cover all the things that are on here. And yeah, there's two sides to every single one of these, and you're probably thinking, holy crap, you got to know all that? Well, you know, as you start going through it, when you're going through the engine compartment and moving, it's just like basically everything that you see, you just need to say, yeah, this is not bent, broken, or cracked, it's not damaged, it's not leaking, there's no abrasions, bulges, cuts, you know, it's properly mounted, secured. But you just got to know what the parts are as you're going around. Like I said, this is something that, you know, we'll be doing a little bit each day here. We'll do that in a little bit here. So yeah, after the pre-trip inspection that we did, then we did the offset parking just pretty much all day. There's 4 in our group, so we had to rotate between the 4 of us. But it was basically, we were parked in one spot, pulled out, and then we did an offset left, which means we backed up to where the trailer and the tractor would park in the space to the left of us. Then we would pull out and do the exact opposite and put it into the space to the right of us, which is where we started from. It seems tricky, and it is, but there's like a 5-step process in order to do it. And I think I threw that here in my bag also. Yeah, so this is it here, the offset left, and it just basically has, you know, five steps. I mean, you're pulling out, and if you want to go to the left, you're going to want to turn your wheel 1 1/4 turn the opposite direction. So in this case, it would be to the right. And then you would back up until, and you look at your mirror, you back up until the rear edge of your trailer is almost touching the key cone. You may be thinking, what's the key cone? That would be the line that's in between the 2 spots. All right, so you got a spot here, you got a spot here. The key cone is right here in the middle. So when you're looking in your mirror and you're backing in your trailer swinging out, when the back of it almost touches it, that's where you stop. And then you turn the wheel hard all the way the other direction. So in this case, it would be to the left, which is that way for you. And then you would back up until the tractor and the trailer are straight. So that way you can see down the trailer on both sides. Now, if you did it right, you should be able to see a cone on both sides of your tractor and trailer. If so, then you just continue. If not, then whichever side you need more gap on, so let's say you see the cone on this side but you don't see it on this side, then what you do is you pull forward, but you pull forward at a hard turn in that direction just for a little bit, and then you'll make a hard turn the other direction to straighten things out, and then you'll wind up having more space on the side that you need it. And then you're ready for the next spot, which is straight back. So you go straight back to the point where that key cone, that center line, is like really close to the in your mirror. It looks like it's close to the trailer mud flap. So at that point, you want to get out and look, or goal, G-O-A-L, get out and look is what it's called. So you put it in neutral, put your parking brakes on, go out, take a look, and you're looking down that that center line in between the two spots, and you want to make sure that your mud flap, if you're looking at it like this is your mud flap, you want to make sure that it's really close, not close to the line, but kind of like this. So let me get my thumb out of the way. So kind of like this. Your trailer's backing up, and you can see your mud flap kind of like this a little bit. And then what you do is you make a hard turn to the left, which is back, so you're backing into that offset lane, that lane that you want to go to. So it's now curving the trailer into that spot, and then you're looking at your mirrors, and once it straightens up and you can see both sides of your trailer, then you just take it straight back. And that goes back to what we were learning yesterday in regards to the straight backing, going, pulling up, going back. So that was like a basic backing technique that's like used for just about everything, So you master that, and you can move to the other things. So that's pretty much it. And if for some reason when you're going to go straight back and it looks like you don't have enough room, then you just pull forward, and remember, whatever side you need more room on, just make a hard turn in that direction, and for just a little bit, and then swing it back to where it was to straighten things out, and you'll have that gap, and then you can take it on back. Things that I wish I knew when I was playing Truck Simulator. It's funny. It's I surprised myself. No, I wasn't perfect, but there were a couple of times where I got it. I got it. I'm like, oh, whoa, maybe I can actually do this. It was just kind of a weird thing, because this is completely out of my element. Going and driving a truck. I mean, it's one thing to play it on a video game or a simulator. It's quite another thing to do it for real, in real life. Just seeing what I've been able to do so far is just kind of like, wow, I can actually do this. I may not be perfect all the time, but the pieces are coming together. Because I would get out and I would watch when other people were doing it, so I could see what it looked like from the outside. So I can get a visual of, okay, this is what it should look like on the outside. Now, how do I translate that into what I'm seeing in the mirrors? Because you've got the convex mirrors, that make things a lot wider than what you see in a lot more wider area. So it's just interesting. But yeah, so that is the offset, offset left and offset right parking. Offset right parking is just the exact opposite of what this is here. So I hope that makes sense. In regards to the offset parking, I like to think of it as a parking lot, and you're pulling out of one spot and you are backing into the spot next to you. And that can be applied in different types of ways. I mean, you could be going down a street like this, and the parking spot you need is right here, but there's a wall here. And some of you may have come across this in Truck Simulator, I don't know. But you come up like this, and then you have to offset to the left. So, you know, let's do it this way. So here's the wall. You're coming out like this. And so you need to back your way in like this. So, does that make sense? Other than that, like I said, we have plenty of water. They supply the water. I mean, they get like a huge ice chest on wheels, filled with ice, filled with bottled water. I mean, we are constantly drinking water out there. And you got to remember, it's like 103, but we're standing on asphalt. So it's even hotter. It's even hotter than what the temperature says it is. But along the way, as we're walking, some of these areas are coned off, like there's a section coned off for parallel parking. And if you walk through it, some of the instructors are like, "You're walking through my canyon. You're walking through the Grand Canyon. Don't walk through this." So it's like, if you see something coned off, don't walk through it. Apparently they don't like it. And apparently the water crate with ice and stuff is apparently the pet, and so they'll the instructor will say, "Okay, who's going to pull our pet?" So our pet water, I guess you could say. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more of the pre-trip. Remember, we're not doing everything all in one video. We're just going to do a little bit at a time. So this is continuing from yesterday. Getting back to our pre-trip inspections and our studies, we're going to just cover just a couple of sections. We're not going to do it all at once. So we're going to head over to the driver's side of the truck, and what we're going to be looking at here is the coolant reservoir. We have to mention that it's properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, it's not damaged, it's not leaking. Remember, that goes back to the CDL that Swift likes to train on. And so, and CDLs is a common thing because it's known for commercial driver's license. But Swift also doubles that, saying cracked, damaged, or leaking. So it's a great way to memorize what they're looking for. But you also need to say that it's filled to the proper level, or it's filled to the manufacturer specifications, and that the cap is on. And don't think they say it needs to be tight, but just basically say the cap is on. Also, you got to mention that the hoses that are coming out of there, that they're securely mounted, they're not loose. You can say not cracked, damaged, or leaking. You can almost say that for just about everything on the truck. I like to go the ABC route and say that there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. It makes me sound smarter. No, not just kidding. But that does help kind of put things together. Another thing that you would need to talk about here is the water pump, and it is also properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, it's not damaged, not leaking. I tend to add in there the BBC part. It's not bent, it's not broken, it's not cracked. I'll mention that it's not damaged. It's also important that you put in there that there's no missing bolts or parts. The hoses that are mounted to it, there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. But one of the important things you got to remember is that the water pump is belt driven. So since it's belt driven, you need to mention that the belt, it's not cracked, it's not frayed, it's not damaged. It doesn't have any abrasions, bumps, or cuts. But also you need to state, hey, if I'm pushing on this, there's no more than 3/4 of an inch of play. Some carriers and some CDL schools will say between 3/4 of an inch to an inch of play. As far as Swift is concerned, or the state of Arizona, remember I mentioned that it's not just Swift's way of doing things. They are actually certified by the Department of Transportation in Arizona, so they have to do things
the way they want to do it. So it could differ by state. And we got another picture here in regards to the coolant reservoir and to inspect hoses. So this kind of gives you a little bit more of a visual of what to look at. And this picture here gives you a little bit more clear of an idea of where that water pump is at. It has a kind of like a upside down teardrop shape. At least that's how I kind of remember it. So it's kind of easy for me to kind of find it amongst all the parts that are in there. The next thing that I move on to is the power steering reservoir. Once again, your PMS properly mounted and secured. It's not bent, broken, cracked, it's not damaged, it's not leaking any fluids. The hoses coming from it, they're properly secured. There's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and they are not leaking. So remember, anything that is like a hose made out of rubbers, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. And also in the same area, you want to mention the oil dipstick. Don't forget that. You don't have to pull it out and check it because some of the vehicles may have been running previously, so it'll be hot. Swift just says, just point it out and say I would check the dipstick. There are some other schools that would say, you know, well, how would you do it? Well, I would pull the dipstick out, wipe it clean, stick it back in there, and then check to make sure that it's properly, you know, it's filled to the proper level. Now, the next thing could be a little bit hard to see because it's behind the frame of the truck. And if I didn't mention this on the previous episode, in regards to the frame, don't forget to mention the frame. You don't have to say the frame is properly mounted and secured because it is a frame. There's really nothing to secure there. But you do need to say, you know, that it's not damaged, you know, it's not bent or broken or damaged, but most importantly, you want to make sure that you say that there are no illegal welds and no drill holes in them. That's the thing about the trucks. There should not be any type of welds on them. If something needs to be welded, it needs to be replaced. Otherwise, it's not safe. So, yeah, no illegal welds, no drills, no drill holes, things like that. But, yeah, getting back to the fluid reservoirs, we already did that. But behind the frame, there is the power steering pump, and there's also the air compressor. It's really, really hard to see. But as long as you point in that general area, that's really all they care about. So once again, you do your PMS properly mounted and secured. It's not bent, broken, or cracked. It's not leaking anything. So power steering obviously would have power steering fluid, and the air compressor could have air leaking out of it. So you want to make sure that you say that, you know, they're not leaking. There's no signs of leakage. And then the other thing that we'll do on this episode is in regards to the steering system. So with the steering system, it's a 3-point steering system that consists of the steering column, the pitman arm, and the linkage. Some places want you to mention all three. Some just say 3-point steering system. Swift is just kind of like, here's my steering linkage. Basically, you have to, you know, say once again that they're properly mounted and secured. They're not bent, broken, or cracked. There's really nothing to leak out of those, so you don't have to worry about that. Some places in regards to the steering column, you have to say there's no more than 10 inches of play when you twist it. Swift in Arizona, don't even mention that. So if you're going through Swift in Arizona, you don't have to worry about that part. And the last thing that you want to mention is the power steering gearbox. That one can be easily missed. I know I've missed it a couple of times when practicing. So just like all the others, it's properly mounted and secured. There's no missing bolts. It's not bent, cracked, damaged.
Okay, and lastly, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was what I have
sitting behind me, which apparently I can't grab. It's a massager. Okay, well, I don't know what happened to... Ah, there it is. So yeah, I have a chair massager here. It actually belongs to my mother, but so I can I can have this going on my back, which, since I'm doing a lot of standing, you can't sit when you're on the range out there. If the trucks are moving, you are not allowed to sit down. You have to stand. Even though there are little covered areas that we go to that have benches. Once the trucks are in motion, you have got to stand up. You cannot sit down. They don't allow it. Yeah, that and getting up and down the truck and stuff. It can, you can hurt your back after a little bit. But yeah, so this works kind of nice. It's Homedics, HOMEDICS. It's got a low and a high massage intensity and 2 different types of modes. It never seems to really get up here where it needs to. Oh, sunscreen. Yeah, that's a thing that's necessary. I've been doing pretty good. I mean, I've been covering my arms and my neck. However, I haven't been spraying the very front part of my neck. As you can see, I am burning on the front. For some reason, I don't know, I didn't think about this up here. I was spraying the back of my neck because I know from experience that burns. I guess I forgot about this. I don't know. Live and learn, I guess. Live and learn. Anyways, we'll go ahead and end things there. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're enjoying this series. You know what to do. Thumbs up. Really helps out. Leave comments, let me know about your own experiences, and subscribe if you're new here, because hey, there's a lot of stuff here. It's not just a trucking vlog. There's a bunch of other stuff too, and hey, you may want to be a part of that. So subscribe, notification bell, and take a look and see what this channel has. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on tomorrow's episode. Have a killer awesome trucking day.